Hello and welcome to the review for One Piece 903, The Fifth Emperor. Normally we do this as part of Weekly Shonen Jump, and I read the official Viz translation. I could not stop myself this week. I have to talk about One Piece 903, especially because Golden Week is going on right now in Japan, which means that there will not be a issue of Shonen Jump this week, which means I wouldn't get to talk about this chapter till next week, but I'm so excited about this chapter. We're going to go ahead and cover One Piece 903, The Fifth Emperor, on its own this week. Let's just go into it, because I can't hold back anymore. So, Sanji has the raid suit now, which is absolutely coming back. I don't know when, I don't know why, but he's going to use that. There's no way Oda introduces that and doesn't bring it back. I love this for multiple reasons. First off, because it shows that he was accepted by the rest of the Vince Moves. Even if they don't like him, they at least accept that he deserves that raid suit, that he is every bit as powerful as they are, whether they want to admit that or not, and it shows that Judge accepts him. And it makes that moment where Judge is listing off all of his best qualities, as Luffy put it, even more touching, because it means that Judge has now realized what he gave up by not treating Sanji the way he should have. At the same time, I don't think it's going to change too much for their relationship. I think the Vinsmokes and Sanji kind of have this, you do your thing, we'll do ours, but take that because we don't want you to die. And they also changed his bounty to dead or alive, which is really cool. And talking about his bounty, his bounty has his last name on there. And he got a bounty bump because he was part of the 4-man team that Big News Morgan spread the word about being behind all this. The other members being Jinbei, Capone, and Luffy himself. But we'll get to Luffy's bounty in a little bit because I want to talk about that last. I want to talk about his bounty and everything around that last. We see that Nami still has Zeus, which is really cool. I don't think Zeus will be as powerful as he was, and I have seen a lot of people saying, well, doesn't this mean Big Mom will be able to track him? We don't know that for sure. We don't know that Big Mom can track the pieces of her soul. However, it would make a lot of sense if she could. Even if she can, what's it really gonna matter? I mean, Luffy beat Katakuri, Luffy beat Cracker, the rest of the Straw Hats will be back together soon. It's not really gonna matter if Big Mom sends some people after him, because there's no way she's going herself. She's got to rebuild Totland. But either way, still really cool to see that Nami has Zeus. He's part of the Climb Attack now. So that's a cool, nice power-up that she has there. Then we get the fun part of Fishman Island is now declaring themselves under Luffy's protection because the rest of the world now thinks that Luffy is the 5th Emperor of the Sea, the 5th Shichibukai. And oh my gosh... Not Shichibukai. That's a lower rank. That's what Jinbei is. Yonko, which would now be the Gokko? Regardless, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. Because whether Luffy is at that level of strength or not, that's a whole different discussion, and maybe we'll have that discussion sometime. That's a fun discussion to have of, do you think that Luffy deserves to be this rank? To the rest of the world, the things that Luffy has done... Declaring war on the world government. Having the only woman in the world, the only survivor of Ohara that can read the poneglyphs, which are needed to get to Raftel. Fighting the world government. Literally fighting all of the admirals, basically, while trying to save Ace. Breaking out of Impel Down. Busting a bunch of prisoners out of jail while on the way to do it. Picking a fight with Doflamingo Don Quixote, and winning. This, as if that wasn't enough, the Grand Fleet, Dressrosa is basically under Luffy's protection, even though that can't be publicly known. Alabasta's basically under Luffy's protection, even though that can't be publicly known. Fishman Island now declaring themselves under Luffy's protection, and Fishman Island, if you remember, being the only other way to get to the New World that doesn't include the Red Line. It's like, oh my gosh! To the rest of the world, it makes perfect sense why Luffy is Gokko level. He's definitely Emperor level. There's no way he's not to the rest of the world. And so when we see Crocodile, and Dalton, and Vivi, and Capone, and Sakazuki Akainu himself, all reading the paper, we can really get a feel for what they're thinking of, oh my gosh, Luffy! Monkey D. Luffy, my boy! Oh my gosh, it's just, I'm so excited for Luffy, and I just can't this is what I've always wanted throughout One Piece, was for Luffy to start getting the respect that I think he deserves. And that's exactly what's happened. And I'm so excited about it. We get to see Cavendish and Bartolomeo being interviewed. And Cavendish is probably talking about himself. Bartolomeo is desperately hyping Luffy. I guarantee it. We see Rebecca and the Tontata are being told not to talk about Luffy at the Reverie. And Reverie starts this week. The Reverie arc begins with this chapter. This chapter, full of so much already, also starts Reverie. My word! Oda! How could you put Chapter of the Year in May? Oda! This chapter's so good! As if that wasn't already cool enough, we see Kobe again. Captain Kobe is even more awesome than he used to be. We get to see Helmeppo again. He looks pretty cool. We get to see Kiros again. Kiros and Kobe both not only see each other and introduce themselves to each other, but they recognize each other's strengths immediately, which is really cool. We get to see Kobe is way stronger than he was before, and his color of observation haki is really good too. We also get to see him see the newspaper, and when he sees Luffy and everything in there about him, he starts to cry. Because Kobe, my man Kobe, is hyping Luffy just as much as all of us are. He remembers when Luffy was still on that boat with Alvida busting out of that barrel. Of course he remembers that. Oh my gosh. Kobe cries. I had to hold back. I was getting hyped, getting emotional. Kobe's crying. Rebecca figures out that Kobe knows Luffy, because of course she does, because he's crying. We then get to see the rest of the Emperors of the Sea's reactions. Kaido is angry that Luffy not only interrupted the stuff that he had going with Doflamingo, with the devil fruits, the artificial devil fruits for the Zoans, for his army, but also is even more upset that that same brat is in Big Mom's territory in Totland, or was at least. We get to see Blackbeard's reaction where he's going, ha, Luffy's not ready for that. That kid's not ready to be an Emperor of the Sea. We can see Big Mom and she is furious, throwing a fit saying, who lost? But honestly, there's no way you could see it other than her loss. All she got was Pedro, and they got out with Sanji. Destroyed her kingdom, basically, wrecked her palace, and then took out Cracker and Katakuri. Then we get to see Shanks. And Shanks is excited, because he says it won't be too much longer till he gets to see Luffy again. My man Shanks is hype that Luffy's getting stronger. Then we end the chapter with Luffy's new bounty, 1.5 billion. Luffy's got a higher bounty than Katakuri now. Luffy's got a higher bounty than basically everybody now. Oh my gosh. If the world government recognizes Luffy, which they won't, Akainu, no way he's going to recognize Luffy as an Emperor of the Sea here. But to the rest of the world, he is. And with a 1.5 billion berry bounty, there is no way that Luffy is not on the chopping block, but also on the respect block for a ton of pirates now. There's going to be a lot of people gunning for him, and there's going to be a lot of people even more that mad respect him. And, oh man, I can't wait. I cannot wait. This was such a good chapter, Oda. This was such a good chapter. I'm not joking about it might be chapter of the year. The year's not even done yet. We have the Reverie arc in front of us, and at some point we're going to get to Wano. Whether that'll be this year or not, I don't know. But, I mean, this sets up so much. What is Zoro going to do when he finds out Sanji has a bigger bounty than him? What's going to happen at Reverie when somebody goes, you know, that Straw Hat Luffy? Morgans has changed the world of One Piece by making Luffy a new power in it. Where Luffy was already considered, you know, one of the worst generation, and he was already considered extremely powerful. He is now being considered by the rest of the world as a fifth Emperor of the Sea. And I can't think of much better for my boy Luffy. Not at this stage. Obviously, it's gonna get better when he's considered Pirate King, but at this stage, oh boy. We'll be back next week with the actual Weekly Shonen Jump breakdown, and I'll read over the translation from Viz and see if there's anything different in the official translation. But oh man, I had to talk about this early. We've been the Full Spectrum. I've been Trey, and remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that One Piece has to offer.